and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the UP Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? We just had a long conversation pre-taping about Tracy Chapman and how much we love just her.
Just her whole vibe. I don't even know if I have the words to describe it, but I have a weird girl crush on her. It's not even the right word though. I just kind of I saw her and I was like, I should stop getting Botox. I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to be more just she just seemed happy and natural, who she is,
right.
And just aging in the most beautiful, graceful way. And just, I don't know. There was just something really heartwarming just about even just seeing her. I don't know. The whole performance.
And I guess to me, it sounds like we see so much desperation for the spotlight.
Yes.
That her almost aversion to it is so you're like, oh man, I wish I was we talk about share the podcast and please, we're not going viral because we're reasonable. We sound like babies. And then you see someone who's just chilling.
Yeah.
And
it's not
you envy it.
And she's not chilling as an act.
No,
you know what I mean? It felt
right.
it took some effort to almost convince her to
Listen,
there.
I see parts of the country. I travel the whole country and I'm always asked, what do you think of our town? I came back from Buffalo. What do you think of Buffalo? Everyone always asks you, and it's annoying.
Right.
But I do have this this thought, I get a pleasure of I have a little dream of let me just move to a town outside of Buffalo and just disappear off
somewhere a little warmer.
Yeah, I could choose better than I can do more for myself. But I think there's that there's someone doing it that way that's so comfortable in the simplicity of life. And it sounds like Tracy Chapman is doing that for herself, where it's we don't know, she's California living.
Right. We don't know anything about her.
Right.
We don't know anyone who's even knows her or she's
There's
just
a beauty to that.
Right. She's so off the grid in a way that seems really authentic, not in a way that's I'm getting off Instagram. It's
and for that reason, I'm unfollowing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There's none of the feeling of it's almost, it just seems like that's genuinely who she is. She's extremely private, but in a non-annoying way. I don't know. There was something about it that her whole essence that just felt very I wanted to bottle it and give some to myself.
This is what a nice compliment.
To Tracy,
Tracy
she won't
Chapman.
hear this.
Well,
I'm sure she doesn't consume any media about herself.
If anyone's feeling the same way, you've been, you're not alone, so to speak.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the whole appeal of whatever that performance was amazing at this point. It's been a week, but anyway.
Wow. We're past Valentine's Day. We are heading towards the worst day of the year.
Inching. This month's going by a lot faster than last month.
It really is. Yeah. January, whew, that was a
doozy.
That was a slog.
Yeah.
Slog, is that the word? A trudge?
Something like that.
Something like that. Listen, this is the Sunday special episode. We love these episodes, and I'm not Tracy. Please share this episode.
Please share.
I need.
Yeah, neither of us are at that level of
No.
Of I don't know. What would you call self-confidence? Is it
there's a confidence to it. It's also I guess happiness.
It's like a blissful naivete.
Right.
Right.
Or you're just this is what I want out of life.
Yeah.
Oh, my song's popular again? Cool. Right. I'd be I don't know. It's a feeling I wish I had. I do envy that perspective. But what else is going on? We have some great emails. Let's get right into it.
Just
you
jump
ready?
Right
petty or prudent? This is a great game. If you have a petty or prudent, basically the breakup happens. Did this person act petty or was it prudent?
Was it necessary?
And
yes.
Do you want me to read it?
It had to happen. Yeah, let's hear it.
Send yours in, uup@betches.com. They end things with you and block you before you can say anything in response. Hi, love your page and podcast. I'm not sure if this investigative work is your thing, but this guy just ended things after a few weeks unexpectedly, and he blocked me before I could respond 2 minutes later. Is it me or is that just wild? I keep combing through the text to see where it went wrong, and I'm not seeing it. Can send those if this is something you're interested in. Almost did something crazy like show up at his house to talk, but I reeled it in. We met on Hinge. It's left me unhinged. Can you help? What do we think? Petty or prudent?
Petty.
blocking you without giving you a chance to respond.
Blocking anyone for any reason without giving them a chance to respond, and that you've been on dates with, I think is totally crazy.
So I guess there's more information that we don't have, but I guess if I was to block you on text, would you know that?
I think you would know because it wouldn't be delivered.
So you can see,
right? It wouldn't say I mean, I don't know if anyone's blocked me. Maybe people have, and I don't know.
Well, then I don't think you've been blocked before. I would also like to clarify I've not been blocked.
Okay.
But
It's okay if you have.
Have you blocked someone else?
I've blocked people.
Yes. So if I block someone or if you guys blocked someone, then it's like we all have iPhones, so like blue text. So we won't get to see if they start trying to respond. However, if they're trying to respond on their end, the messages aren't getting delivered and everything's just like going green on your end.
So
like,
you'll see green on your end and you'll be like,
green or not delivered?
Yeah, because of your text, when you're a sender, your text should be blue if it's an iMessage.
Mm.
So if you're the sender and you're the one that's been blocked, all of your texts are going to go green. It's no longer going through and it's just it's hitting a wall.
So yeah, this is petty.
That's someone who cannot, that's like, I think this is the only thing worse than ghosting.
Not giving someone a chance to like know that you received your response.
Right. You can't handle the response. And I'm trying to think what do you think is worse? Just not answering someone, or
I know why they're doing it. They're trying to preserve their own emotional state. They want to live in naivete. Like they want to live naively.
Right.
So they're like, I ended it on my terms. Goodbye. And they slam the door on them. That is annoying.
No conversation.
Right. And I think when you end something with someone, I think someone is owed their one piece back to you.
Yes.
At a minimum. At a minimum.
Depending on, I think no matter the stage that it's ended, at a minimum.
Right. How about the other version? I've sent a text, hey, I had a really good time with you, but I don't see this as a romantic connection. I wish you the best. Is it petty to not respond to that?
It's a little petty. It's not as petty as the block.
Right.
It's a little petty. I think like a nice way to wrap it, a mature way to wrap something is to say, okay, thanks for letting me know. Wish you the best.
Right. Or this is disappointing.
Right.
Good luck with everything.
Sure. That's
even
fine
that
too.
would be okay. I've had the non-response to the, hey, I don't think we should go on a date anymore because I've enjoyed our time, but this just isn't the right match for me. And you get no message and you go, yeah, they don't owe me that, but I do think it's a little petty.
Right. I've gotten broken up with on an email that I didn't respond to.
Email?
Yeah.
Well, email's like is a little much for a breakup. Doesn't it feel that way? Like a little too professional?
I guess. I mean, it's interesting because an email is like, it's not as pressured to respond to, I think, as a text. But it can lay out your feelings in a usually the email comes after another form of breakup too, I guess.
Well, the email comes after the breakup. To me, it's always been like,
let me explain myself without having to have a whole conversation with you.
Right, because I'll end things and then I'll get the email and I'm just expecting a week later, read this. It's always titled, please read.
Yeah.
Read this. Some thoughts.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I don't get back to that. So maybe I'm petty. I don't know what to say. You wanted your last word and you wanted it.
You got it. Well, that was the email. When you email, when you do it, like when you send one of those emails, and that you wouldn't send an email after a few weeks. It'd probably be a longer, more intense situation.
That's the scary part about not getting a message back. You're like, when's it coming? When am I going to have to be?
Never, if you're me.
Look in the mirror. Yeah.
Never.
That guy's still waiting.
Still wait. Maybe I should respond now.
Hey, how's everything been? Just want to let you know I'm doing okay now. I'm married.
Right. Or scathing. I've been thinking about it for the past 10 years.
You know, I brought this up on a podcast I have.
And I remembered I never answered your email.
Right.
Yeah, the email I think is like it's for the person writing it.
Right.
Usually.
Which I'm happy to give them.
Fine.
That I don't think that's petty, writing the email.
No, I think it's nice to have I think the nicest thing in a breakup is to have a conversation. And depending on how long you were dating, will dictate how long the conversation should be, but the conversation shouldn't just be one person gets to say their thing and gets absolutely no feedback.
You get one text.
Yes.
Especially a couple weeks dating. We met on Hinge. Hey, I had a great time with you. This isn't the match for me. To block them right away is like you're being petty. You
I agree.
You're literally just slamming the door in their face.
If they said something like, it's so fucked up. Like I did all like if they said something really aggressive back, like angry and aggressive,
Then you block.
then fine.
Yeah.
Block. But it's like I think it's very immature.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's immature
Yeah.
because you don't want to grow. You don't want to hear what someone else has to say about you. You just want to stay exactly as you are. You don't want to feel the
You
pain.
only want to hear positive.
Right.
And if again, I think this is like it's almost one of those things where it's like if they do that and then they block you, then great. You avoided someone who is not very good at communicating.
Right. This was the ghost of relationships future telling you how shitty it would have been. Let's do an email.
Okay. Hi J&J, I'm stuck in a dilemma I could use your opinion on. I've started seeing somebody and we are recently exclusive. He's 31 and I'm 28.
Here we go.
Around the same time that we started seeing each other, he has started going to a therapist,
Nice.
more for general wellness and mental health, not tied to any specific event or issue. Okay. All of what I'm about to share is more compilation of little things I picked up based on what he has shared. So it definitely has not come from him as a dump of all his negative information, but I've over time been clocking little things here and there, and I haven't loved or found that I disagree with that his therapist is sharing with him.
Can you
She's got a
imagine?
little spreadsheet.
Right. Well, he's like, therapy today. Oh, what a day. I opened up about this and she just takes a notebook.
Okay, adding that to the list for a fight.
Not trusting of me.
There are things where I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to fight about this right now, but maybe I'll like remember it and it'll come up at a different time when I am in the mood for a fight.
A woman's version of the spank bank.
I'm gonna put this away for later. The first thing I didn't love was when he mentioned to his therapist that he had started seeing somebody. After sharing a little bit about me to the therapist, he told me his therapist said that anyone under 30 is typically not in a place for a stable long-term relationship. Though he then said he clarified to her this was not the case with me, I couldn't help but feel offended by this blanket statement, particularly because I'm very proud of the hard work I've done in my life to set a career up for success and buy my first home, etc. And now there is a sentiment that I am being spoken on in a room where I can't defend myself in. Plus, I'd argue it's men under 30 who aren't typically ready to settle down. LOL. And shouldn't therapists not be making sweeping statements like this and be open-minded to their clients' stories and experiences?
She sounds very forgiving and ready for the.
She's got her Exhibit A, Exhibit B thing. Yeah. The next thing,
I do agree with her. It's kind of a wild thing for a therapist for anyone to say.
Right. I almost don't believe that she said that.
I don't either.
Because it's just such a crazy thing to say.
Why would he tell her that?
Right.
Why would he say that to her?
It's like who would say that? And then if they did, why would he say that to her and not say anything back to her about that statement?
Right. It's almost like he's trying to create a little rivalry between them two.
Right.
Like I would only say that to like start drama. Like that's like a housewives storyline.
Right. My therapist says that you're being a little annoying. It's like, are you speaking what you want to say through your therapist?
Right.
The next thing I picked up on is that his therapist is really into Enneagrams and is eating it up. Though he said it's 100% jokingly, he's joked about how our Enneagram numbers aren't the most compatible and how, fine, I'll do that, but it's so against my Enneagram. As if Enneagram system is his religious choice and not just an indicator of how one typically reacts and behaves.
This is kind of like the epitome of like finding your new personality, like going to France and then talking about, abroad being your new personality. Like
astrology, it reminds me of.
Right. Like you just got into something like to go to therapy and then like be like just randomly referencing your Enneagram, whatever the fuck that is.
I know Sammy's really into Enneagrams, so I know about Enneagrams a little bit.
I'm looking at one right now that
which one
Candace put together for us.
You got to take a whole quiz.
Enneagram. Oh, thank you. Yeah, an Enneagram. The Enneagram of personality, or simply the Enneagram, is a model of the human psyche, which is principally understood and taught as a typology of 9 interconnected personality types.
It's like a personality test, basically. It tells you what kind of person you are. And I don't know if it's how accurate it is.
I mean, I'm just looking at this, and it looks like Captain Planet, and I'm just like, I'm out. Like this is...
They're like fun to do. It's the kind of thing where it's like,
for
for me.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed I think I've taken it as part of like some like career building, whatever test. And it's the kind of thing I don't think you should like base this guy is being like annoying about it, but they're, It's kind of like the what's this what is the test that's like the INTJ,
Right.
like introverted
I know
whatever.
those. I know.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
familiar with.
There's like some I've been I think there's companies that do them as part of like an interview process.
Some companies will have you take them just to see like how to deal with you. You know, like
how should we reject
right.
this person from the job?
Right.
Based on their,
Let me look to the.
yeah. It's in the
She's a
stars.
blue. Okay, going easy. She might go crazy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, this gives me the vibe that his therapist is less so informing him of how to pick up on tendencies and behaviors based on how he falls in the Enneagram numbers, and more so making decisions based on them or with them as an excuse. All of this that he has just shared was in jest and nothing malicious or a cause of an issue, but again, something I'm worried about how it's being presented to him by his therapist. This puts me in a weird position because A, anyone who has issues with their partner's therapist can come off defensive or jealous. And B, because we are newly seeing one another, and now I feel like I don't want to open up about personal stuff as we keep getting to know one another, because if he brings it up to his therapist, who knows what the therapist can use it for. Like if we get into an argument, it's not because we disagree on something, it's because we're trauma bonding or I have attachment issues or something. Just another blanket statement she's going to feed him. He's a total golden retriever personality, and I feel like he's just eating it up and not noticing any harm in any of it. But it's made me quite defensive, and I don't know if it's something I should keep an eye on, mention, or let be until it actually does cause a true issue between us. AKA, am I getting ahead of myself? What do you guys think? Sincerely, therapist.
Well, I love this email. It's got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
She's dating a golden retriever. She seems more pit bullish
It seems-
than fun golden.
It seems like she's annoyed at him, and she's using the therapist as like an other.
Right.
Like she's like you can see someone who can tell you whatever you want, but it's if you're the person believing it and then regurgitating it, that's on you.
Right. I agree with you. The whole idea that this is the therapist. If this therapist is the puppeteer
Right.
that she has explained to us, it's wild. It's like crazy.
I don't think that's the case.
Right. The way it's being explained is as if they're having couples therapy sessions without her.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I don't know if that's...
Why would he tell her all this stuff, too?
Right.
I think that's weird.
And to say, well, he's a golden retriever, he doesn't even know that it's hurting me. Well, it is.
Right.
Fuck him.
Maybe that's a turnoff.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this guy, you have to know. Like, for you to come home from
Right.
therapy and be like, oh, she says you're not
Can't
even
take
my
any-
match.
Can't take anyone over 30 seriously. Huh.
What a fucking weird thing to say
It
to your
almost-
partner.
Right. It almost feels like he's like laying the groundwork for like a breakup. Or
Yeah,
something.
it does feel manipulative in a
Right.
certain sense. Like either a breakup or to like let her know like
Our Enneagrams are incompatible. How does he even know what her fucking Enneagram is?
right. Why aren't I included in these conversations?
Right.
So it's like
I think he's being annoying.
I agree. I think you got to talk to, and I do understand what she's saying. Like, you know, you getting mad at it lives under this again something that I feel like I just harp on too much.
Right.
But this idea of like man in therapy, so he's doing good. You know,
Well, she
and-
doesn't think that, though.
No, but
Right.
that's what she's worried about.
Right.
Is like now I'm attacking my guy for doing the thing that everyone agrees, boyfriend in therapy. What a hero. All you have to say is you're in therapy and like everyone backs away. Whoa, let me bow to the altar of this extra emotionally intelligent man. No, he's a dick.
Right.
He's acting like a dick.
But it's easier to villainize the therapist than to villainize him.
Right. And because he's Mr. God on earth going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's easier to I just think it's easier to like, yeah, what you said. It's just, this feels like she's got to talk to him.
Right. And again, it's like she's not saying this directly because, again, she's putting it all on the therapist, but it's like he's a total golden retriever personality and he's just eating it up, not noticing any harm in any of it. That's an issue with him.
Right.
No matter, like, because if it's not his therapist, it could be anyone else saying something to him.
Right. I would go up to him and be like, you said that I'm not your match.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Doesn't matter like who you said it about or what context, like that's what you told me.
Right. Don't to say, well, forget the therapist.
Right.
You said it.
Right. And he's using the therapist to maybe relay thoughts that he has.
It feels that way.
Which can feel tempting. I can understand why people do that because it can feel, let's say if you have a problem with someone, it's easier to say, well, my therapist thinks that
Right.
that this situation is not good for me. It's easier to say that than I think the situation is not working for me.
Right. Someone's a professional opinion is that you are wrong.
Right.
Being wrong is just my opinion. But now I got this professional back there that I'm referencing.
Right.
It's a threat.
You got to own like, and you should say, like, if you feel these things, if you feel that because I'm under 30 or I'm over 30, under 30, I can't be taken seriously, then you should say that to me. Don't like put it in like the words of your therapist and say that to me, because that's kind of just annoying, because I can't, well, I'm not in your therapy sessions.
Right. That gives me no leg to stand on.
Right. So own
Yeah.
if you believe these things, own them. And if you don't, tell your therapist to fuck off.
Right. No, I it's very relatable to me, the idea of like, and everyone's mad about this.
Right.
No,
Well, I
no,
think
no.
people do that.
You're mad about
Right.
it. You tell me how you feel. Let's have an adult sparring of words.
Yeah. And people do this, I think, with like, my mom thinks this thing.
Right.
You know, my friend thinks this.
It's unhealthy. It's not-
My friends think it's weird that we're not engaged yet. It's like,
I think
well, what do
it's
you
weird.
think?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Like, if you
Right.
feel it, then you own it. Otherwise, don't make it my problem
Yeah. Right.
or something that I should hear.
Right. I totally agree. I'm annoyed for her now. I'm as salty as she is.
Same. I also don't believe she would say, like, the therapist would say that a lot of these things, which is why I'm kind of like,
I would be like, anytime the therapist has something to say about me, here's my number. Have them call me.
right. Or I say, how about we do a couple session?
Right. We'll all talk.
That'll.
I want to meet this therapist.
Right.
Right.
Ask her why, confront the accuser.
Yeah. Maybe she'll see how immature I am in person. Well, we did it again.
Proud of us.
We solved dating. Another Sunday special, another life saved.
We
Two
did.
lives saved. We did the... and our own.
And our
That's
own.
right. I never got to ask Jorge and Candace what their Valentine's Day plans are.
Or were at this
Or
point.
were, right.
Yeah, well, let's see what the happiest married man in the world.
Right.
Valentine's Day.
What
plans
did
were.
you plan, Jorge?
We're just cooking each other dinner. It's a very simple, straightforward
Each
plan
other?
at home. Yeah.
What do you mean, like you're making?
You do the
What do you do?
appetizers, she does the main
yeah,
dish?
I'm making moules frites. in
What's
a
a moules
wine,
frites?
What's that?
Fried mussels, like
Oh, that's good.
with French fries in a wine sauce. It's-
Okay, Jordana didn't understand. We did a benefits episode. Were you there for our taping?
Which one?
The
I think so.
benefits, the one we just did with
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
were
was there, I
telling
was
me
there.
about the
When I
mussel
said the
sauce.
most romantic thing I've ever done
Yeah,
was to put the bread in the...
Did you think that was romantic?
I think it was pretty romantic. I
Thank
I
you.
did agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe
Jordana did not give me the people DM'd about it. I
It
got a few
being-
DMs
They
of people
thought it was
going,
romantic?
yes.
it
Okay.
being the most romantic thing, I think
That
there's
I've ever
there's
done.
room for improvement, but I think it was pretty good.
I thought it was a very giving thing to think of someone ahead of time with the bread and the... Well, I only bring it up because you bring up the mussels.
Yes, there will be crusty bread to sop up the juices.
Well, now you have a
yeah.
tip
Right.
about a way to make it
So-
more romantic.
Do it on Valentine's
I
Day.
will,
I want
I
to hear
will.
how it goes. I want to hear, just secretly put it in the sauce and then put it on her plate.
Yeah, and
and
then
see what
afterwards
happens.
I'm gonna be oh, Jared taught me this. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see what... No,
Roman-
you won't be able to say that because she'll be ravaging you.
You learned
You'll
it
be in
from,
bed
from-
after sex.
I
I'll
learned
tell
it from
her.
Mr. Romance
Right,
over here.
right.
What is she making for you?
Some sort of dessert. We haven't established that yet, but she'll make something.
What if night of nothing?
It's okay. We don't really put that much importance on Valentine's Day.
But would you be
Mm.
like, annoyed that you did your part? Fine.
Not really.
Okay.
She does a lot around the house.
Dudes. dudes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Unoffended. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay,
nice and
yeah.
refreshing to hear?
Yeah. All right.
All right, Candace, what are we doing?
I do not have that mentality. I'm very into Valentine's Day.
I think most men would be like,
Yeah, that's how my boyfriend is. So the pressure is on.
What do you mean? How is he?
He's more laid back about Valentine's Day, and he's like, "Oh, let's just get dinner or something." I'm a card person, so I'm with
Okay.
Jordan
Okay.
on that.
Woman after my own heart.
I will say that he is great with like setting up reservations, so I don't know what we're doing. I know that it's planned
It's a
already,
surprise. Love that.
and he had to miss my birthday, so
oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's got a lot of
we're really stepping it up for this one.
yeah. If he missed the birthday, he's got to bring it.
Do you think there's a gift?
Yeah, there's gonna for my birthday. Things showed up at my apartment.
Oh, you
that-
got a gift for your birthday.
Yeah, he purse got delivered in a balloon display with a card because he had to leave for work last minute. So
Right.
the card initially said, "Can't wait to spend tonight with you," and he called in a panic. That was not the plan.
Oh
Before I
yeah,
had to
because you might be
cancel.
like, oh, he's gonna surprise me.
Right. This has
There's
been
nothing
part of the
sadder
big
than
surprise.
thinking you might be surprised,
Oh my
and
god.
then you're not surprised.
Yeah, he definitely called in a panic to let me know he was not
okay.
going to surprise me. But so now for Valentine's Day, it's like set. But we've done like different things before. Like we have not cooked together before. We want to though. But we've done like the blindfolded dinner in like somewhere in Soho.
That's romantic.
Ooh.
I've never been blindfolded, Mike.
Mike,
listening.
what the hell are you doing, man?
That
Like
one's-
you can't see anything.
It's like
just
an
your
experience.
senses.
They like they blindfold
Oh,
you. They
he
lead
hasn't
you into the
blind-
restaurant,
okay. Oh,
and
I thought
it's
it was
like
he
it's a
surprised
chef.
you. with the blindfold.
No, he learned to cook over the pandemic. I don't want to risk that. So, but it's like a chef 5-course dinner, and you don't find out what you've eaten until you take off
Don't
the
see.
blindfold at the end, and she walks you through.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So
That's fun.
he did that one. He's done. He
You don't
likes
have to
to
worry
do
about your
things where it's
outfit.
like a new experience.
right?
I always
What's
worry
that?
about my
You
outfit.
don't have to
toward
worry
the
about
end.
your outfit if you're
Right,
both
that's-
blindfolded.
Yeah,
Take off your
so-
blindfold.
Right.
You were in sweats the whole
If
time.
that happened with me, we'd take off the blindfold. There would be food all over my shirt. It would just be everywhere. It'd be like in my hair. I'm already a messy eater with full vision, so
Take off the blindfold.
I'm sure it was nice, whatever it's gonna be though.
That
I'm
bread's
excited
been
to hear
sopping
about
in
it.
that mussel stew since you've put the blindfold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to a nice dinner and there'll be a card.
He'll be at the mixer, so you guys will find out if I look mad the next day, if I'm the one dating other people at the mixer.
Ooh.
yeah.
He's been put on notice.
I'm gonna ask him.
Well, those are the Valentine's plans.
We did it.
And listen, it's the 18th. This comes
Yeah.
out. If you're listening now, thank you for everyone who came to my NYC show.
or the 17th.
If you're listening on the 17th, maybe there's some
It's
tickets
tonight.
available. Come on out, New
Go
York
check
City.
it out.
Otherwise,
We'll be back on the worst day of the year.
my
Bye.
birthday.
The You Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.